This is the path not only for us to be able to serve the world, but also the path that when we walk this path, we step into the shoes of who we truly can become, being able to overcome certain obstacles within ourselves. Because in the end, whatever we run away from, whatever we push down within ourselves, will come out and it will be our demise, so to speak. Hey guys, welcome to the New Earth Project. I'm David Caxero, and today I want to share with you the biggest lesson I learned in 2021. And I wish I would have learned this earlier on in my life. I'm glad I've learned it at a relatively young age, because I think there's a lot of people that they don't realize this. They go through their whole lives not realizing this. This is something that I know and could benefit anyone in their lives. It could be completely life-changing. It's the idea of walking the hero's journey. The fact that we are our own heroes and no one is coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. And I know that can sound really kind of intimidating and harsh at first, but I want to explain to you and share a couple things that I really use to apply this in my life, and ways that I'm going to continue to apply it within my life, and hopefully give you some tips on how you can do the same. So as I said, I know that the idea of no one is coming to save you can be really intimidating and harsh, but it's actually the key to our own healing, to our own ability to step into who we can become in this life and really fulfill our potential in this life that we're living right now. It's being able to face ourselves 100%. No longer running away from what scares us and running away from what we've been put here to do. You know what I mean? In another video, I said that, we all have gifts. We all have a unique gift to give to the world. And a lot of times that gift or that sense of purpose is intimidating. It's scary for us. And I really believe that these gifts, or this sense of purpose, or this thing that's been seated deep within you, has been given to each of us for a reason. This is the path not only for us to be able to serve the world, but also the path that when we walk this path, we step into the shoes of who we truly can become. I often say that our intuition, or that call within your own heart, is the voice of something greater, something beyond the personal identity, your rational thinking mind, your human intellect. Call it God, call it the universe, call it your higher self, call it whatever you want, but it's a voice of a greater intelligence, and that voice is always guiding us on the path that is the highest expression, the highest path that we can walk, and when we can choose to follow that, it doesn't mean that it's going to take us into what's easy. It means it's going to take us, usually what I've come to find in my life is that it takes me into what I need to heal, to grow, to overcome things within myself, right? So that I can become that highest expression of myself, right? Now, sometimes it takes me away from old patterns and old ways of doing things, and that's not easy. But following our hearts, following that intuition, that little voice inside, that subtle feeling, I think is really key in facing ourselves, because that voice is going to tell us to face the fear, to stop suppressing things and stop judging ourselves and stop neglecting things within us. And usually that is what kind of urges us to follow that gift, to that passion, that something that to serve other people, that it's usually career based. It doesn't have to be, but something to give to the world, right? That sense of meaning and purpose for ourselves in our lives. And again, that can be really intimidating and overwhelming and scary for us, right? And that's why I say it is a big part of facing ourselves and walking this hero's journey, so to speak, of healing and growing and evolving within ourselves, right? And expanding consciousness. There's something I like to live by, and it's to follow your fear. It's not easy to do, but I feel like it relates to this lesson that I really learned in 2021, which was to really face myself. And as long as I run away from those things, or I suppress the things within me that maybe I didn't like, or that the things that I'm scared of, or whatever, the more I'm delaying me stepping into my potential here, and me stepping into my ability to really serve other people to the best of my ability, and really become the person that I could be in my own sense of fulfillment for myself. So stepping into the fear, I think, is really important, because the fear wasn't given to us for by accident. It was given to us for a reason. If that gift, if that sense of purpose, if that whatever it is that scares you, it's the obstacle within you that it can be a stepping stone. That fear can be a stepping stone, helping you to rise into the highest expression of yourself. And when I learned to really face the fear, not all at once, it doesn't mean you have to jump headfirst into the deep end of your fear, so to speak. The more that we can get used to stepping into that fear, stepping into that discomfort, the more we grow, the more we evolve, the more we heal, the more things come up within us, triggers and different things where we have an opportunity to overcome those. It's almost like it's an exponential growth curve when you start to face yourself and face the fears. What this is really about is overcoming yourself. And when I say yourself, I mean who you thought you were, the limiting beliefs, the doubt, the identity that you've given yourself, who you thought you were, the fear and all that kind of stuff that's been so real in your life. It's overcoming that. Because as long as we identify with those things, we'll never step into that highest expression of who we can be in this life. And so I'm really glad that I started to follow that call and not overthinking things. And I really encourage you to do the same. If you've thought about doing something or pursuing something, or there's something that, deep down you feel like you should do it, but when you start thinking about it, you kind of get scared, you kind of start to doubt yourself, and you kind of wonder if it's going to work out or whatever that looks like. I really encourage you to take the first step, because the truth is that no one is coming to save us. And again, I know that can sound kind of harsh, and I don't mean for it to sound that way, but we are our own heroes. As a kid growing up, I was always inspired by Disney movies. I'm a 90s kid, Hercules and The Lion King, and these different heroic characters or heroic scenes that came up in these movies really inspired me. And I think that it inspired me because deep down, I always wanted a hero in my life, and we are our own heroes, And so I want you to know that you are your hero. And when you can become your own hero, you can then help others become their hero by inspiring them. And they might think that, you're their hero, but then they'll discover for themselves that they are actually their own hero. And so that's really what this message is about, is overcoming ourselves and walking that hero's journey and embracing that journey. It's not always easy, but I feel like it's part of this human experience. It's part of us, again, really stepping into who we can become and healing these internal wounds and letting go of things and learning to accept, and all of these certain life lessons, I feel like, comes from going within yourself and completely facing yourself. And even though it sounds harsh, the statement of like no one's coming to save you or anything like that, I encourage you to be kind with yourself, because that is the way that through kindness with ourselves, through acceptance, through being gentle with ourselves, we can ease our way into facing ourselves. It's when we are really hard on ourselves and really have that type of drill sergeant mentality that we become unmotivated. We become discouraged within ourselves. The best way I found to really face myself was to talk to myself and that person who's scared within me, as if it's a 5-year-old kid, even like looking at a picture of myself when I was young, like 4 or 5 years old, how would I talk to that kid? You know? And that's a really good way that I started to really face myself and change the way that I talk to myself in my head. And I became much more aware of how hard I was on myself. You know, the way I have talked to myself is not the way I would talk to a 5-year-old kid. And that's and so when we can change our self-talk, it really encourages us. It can be really encouraging for us to really step into those fears and face ourselves, face the things that maybe we've judged or we've pushed away, you know? And so this is just something I wanted to share with you guys today because it's really helped me, and it's a really great realization that I came to find within myself, um, in the last year in 2021, and I'm really excited to see the trajectory that in the way that it changes myself and my life, because it's just accountability, really. It's just really facing yourself and overcoming yourself, and the only way we can do that is by no longer suppressing things, no longer neglecting things, no longer running away from ourselves, because in the end, whatever we run away from, whatever we push down within ourselves, will come out, and it will be our demise, so to speak. But whatever we can face within ourselves, whatever we can accept, whatever we can bring to the forefront, will end up being a stepping stone for us to heal and to grow and to, again, really step into that highest expression of who we can be. So this is something that I just wanted to share with you guys today as we step into this new year. I like to reflect on, what was the biggest thing I took away from the year before that I want to continue on into the rest of my life. And then what does the next year look like? What kinds of things do I want to face within myself moving forward? Or how do I want to heal or grow in the future? So I hope this helps. I hope this really encourages you to do the same in your life, because I know how beneficial it's been for me. So thanks. I'll see you for the next video.